Welcome back to my Meet the Agent series. In this series, we're going to be looking at the pros and cons of every agent, including their abilities. Next up, we have Cypher. Cypher is a sentinel, meaning he'll often play back, placing his traps and tripwires, and basically he'll watch your team's flank for you. Okay, so Cypher's first ability is his C. This basically places a tripwire, and you can see it shows a hologram. If there's like a valid placement, it will just show the connection. And if he places a tripwire in the right spot, it's very difficult to avoid it. So if he places it at roughly neck level, they can't quite crouch under it, because that's just gonna, the top of their head is just gonna trigger, and they can't quite jump over it. So technically, yes, a jet or someone with a raise, they could jump over it maybe, but that would make some noise. He can press F to pick them up, just like that, and then he can replace them. When an enemy hits this tripwire, it will reveal their location and basically ping their location through a wall. So you'll be able to see them through walls as long as they're stuck in this tripwire. Once they get stuck, you'll have to shoot or knife either end to break it. Otherwise, it will just hold them here until eventually it breaks and they'll get stunned. So if you ever get caught in a tripwire, first make sure there's no enemies, because oftentimes a Cypher will play like an angle like this, and as soon as someone hits this tripwire, they'll get like so distracted they'll be like, oh my gosh, I need to shoot the tripwire. But no, because then the Cypher's gonna come out and get you. So what you should do first is just wait, and if the Cypher doesn't peek you, then deal with the tripwire. It takes a few seconds to actually stun you, so it's not urgent, and you should always look for that Cypher first, because a lot of the times he'll just be camping, waiting for someone to hit his tripwire. Now the tripwire is actually cloaked. You can see it. Since I placed it, I can see it, and my teammates would also be able to see it, but if I was an enemy, it would be completely invisible right now, and it would only show once I get very, very close to it, which makes them pretty difficult to avoid, especially if you're running at full speed. Sometimes you'll see them if you're walking, and your options are either to shoot it before it hits you, obviously, but then the Cypher will obviously know you're there because you destroyed his wire. Or you could try and get around it by ducking, jumping, or using an ability to get over it. So those are your options when you see a tripwire. Next up is his Q ability. It basically just throws a cage that you press F on to activate it. It's like a smoke. It doesn't last too long, and it's hollow in the roof. It has an interesting property where if an enemy walks into the end of your smoke, it will actually make a sound, so you get an audio cue if they're trying to push your smoke. Now, a lot of Cyphers, what they'll do is they'll place a tripwire and a smoke, and even if they're a long way away and someone hits the tripwire, they'll know that at least one person's there, and they'll want to slow down a potential push. So even through a wall, cage trigger, they can press F on their cage, and it will basically make a smoke and hopefully slow down an enemy push a bit. Next up, we have his camera. This is similar to his tripwire with the placement anyways. So if we put a camera up there, oh, we can't, maybe right there, cool. So what he can do is from anywhere on the map, if he presses E with a camera down, it shows his camera, and he can actually shoot a tracking dart at an enemy, which will ping their location through the wall, much like the tripwire. However, the tracking dart from the camera will ping them continuously until they remove the dart manually by holding F. So it's pretty powerful if you get a tracking dart on someone, because then they have to fall off and take it out. Now, to exit your camera, hit E, and if you ever want to pick it up, you can just come back and press F on it to pick it up. You can see it's cloaked right now, meaning the enemies will not be able to see it, but as soon as you enter your camera, it has a blinking light. Obviously, I can't see it because, actually, you can see it a little bit before it cloaks, but enemies will be able to shoot your camera if you're using it. They'll be able to see it. F to pick up. Lastly, we have Cypher's ultimate, and it only works on an enemy corpse, which is also fresh. So you have to have the corpse killed within the last 20 seconds to use Cypher's ultimate on it, and it will, when used, it will reveal the locations of every other enemy that is still alive, which is extremely powerful. For instance, in a 3v2 situation, if you guys are like about to plant the spike, and you have no idea where the enemies are, and you just killed one of the enemies, then you can use Cypher's ultimate on it, and you'll get exact intel on where the enemies are. That's all for Cypher. Thanks for watching.